Hey Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing a reading for the month of November, which is absolutely crazy. The year is almost over, so let's go ahead and see if we're aligned with our journey, if we need to change something. I did do a video about manifesting, so I'd recommend checking it out because whatever I give you here, it's not set in stone. This is for you to see if you're aligned with it. I mean, if you like what is going to happen in your future, then great. Stick to that energy that you're kind of living in right now. But if you don't like it, you can change that. This reading right now is all about where you are energetically and where it leads you. So we will do a past, present, and future for the month of November. But first we'll pull a card, kind of get a vibe of November. I want to see energetically what that means for you and kind of like go with that because there's like so many tidbits that you can get just from the energy around it. So let's go ahead, see what that is for you guys. Okay, so we had another who was that? Was it Aries? I feel like it might have been Aries. There's another fire sign that had the same exact card, and I shuffled that before I did a reading. I feel like sometimes I will get multiple signs, kind of get the same card because it's like we are all really energetically all connected in some capacity, my opinion, right? And if you're close to someone that's the sign, you kind of feed off of each other. I always have friends where like we're going through the same thing, but not. That's kind of like what, because it's like, I don't know, like you feed off each other, you're close to somebody, and like the theme of what you're going through the same might be different. But let's go ahead. So we have restriction, and there's some pros and cons that the same thing I said to Aries, I'm gonna say to you guys. So when I see the card restriction is a beautiful thing, but there's also comes with a warning. So the restriction for me is showing me kind of like boundaries that you're setting for yourself in terms of friends. It could be anything: friends, family, relationship, exes, work. I think you guys have maybe overextended yourself to some regard. Your energy is a little bit different than Aries in a sense that I just feel like it's an overextension to, it feels like multiple things. Like I feel like you overextended for your friends and you're seeing their true colors. I feel like you overextended in work a little bit, and I think you're finally kind of like, I need to put myself first, like first my health, my mental health, just physical health as well needs attention. So I think that that's part of the good thing because you're finally like the beauty, like look, she's like in her yogi pose, there's flowers, she's growing, she's grounding herself. I think you're taking a pause from that and restricting who has access to you. And then there's also a caveat to that because it's also like, okay, but don't forget that you are in control of your own destiny, right? Like I said in the beginning of this reading, you can control this energy, right? So don't restrict yourself from giving yourself the best future possible. Don't doubt yourself. Don't pull yourself back thinking like, oh, well, I don't deserve this, or oh, like that's, I could never, things like that. So there's still a caveat within that. But let's go ahead. I think that's a good reading, good vibe for November. And I think it's very peaceful and positive. So if you're kind of like, well, I hope November is better than any other month, like, yes, it's going to be a lot of growth, I'll just say. And growth being like the flowers kind of blooming from that, there is going to be growth within this. But let's go ahead. We're going to pull some cards for past, present, and future. I'm going to pull them all at once. I just want to shuffle one more time here. Okay, that seems like that wants to come out. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with those. I'm going to flip this over. Yep, that makes so much sense. And okay, so the past is coming out with immediately exhaustion, indifference to things, and it feels like a lot. Like that's what I was saying in the beginning. So we have the Nine of Swords. I'll explain that. Sorry, I'm just like kind of listening to the messages pop into my head right now. So we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Seven of Cups. So a lot of emotional stuff kind of happening, or at least making you feel some kind of emotional way. There is a sense of exhaustion anxiety that plagues you at night. And again, this is the past. There's a sense, again, of a lot of things happening, so many directions, kind of putting your energy to too many things and not picking like a lane. And I think your guides have wanted you to do that and you just haven't. Whatever that means for you, right? It could be friendships, it could be like in a relationship, maybe like you just overextended way too much in like your relationship aspect and just didn't pick a lane, like a direction that you wanted with that relationship. But it almost like made you indifferent, and there's so much apathy. There's like you will have something handed to you and you're just so exhausted that you were just like, "Ah, whatever, I don't care." Because this is like you like see the cup being here, that's like the Ace of Cups. I don't know if you could see this. Where is it? This here is the Ace of Cups represented in this card. And so like the universe is like handing you things, but you're just so like, ugh, like, okay, whatever. Cause I already have so many pieces of me broken away into other aspects of life that you're just not like caring or don't even find it interesting at this moment because it's just overwhelming, if that makes any sense. And so you turn down a lot, like some kind of opportunities, and maybe you don't even realize that you turned them down or didn't realize that you even had an opportunity. Because again, you're so hyper focused. You were hyper focused on what was happening at that moment in like so many aspects of life that you missed some things. So just be aware of that because maybe that's something that you weren't aware of. And your guides kind of want you to know at this point because I think that's super important moving forward, especially in your future. So we have in the present, we have Knight of Wands, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Moon. So kind of makes sense with the restriction and again, like missing some opportunities. So we have a miss here. We have a miss here. I feel like you are going to be currently just going within. I think you are really, and this is for me, it doesn't even feel like a bad miss. Like it doesn't, not a bad miss. It doesn't feel like it's a bad thing that there's a delay or missing a situation completely because I think you need to come within. The past has really been heavy and a lot. There was just so much burden mentally and physically, and so you also became aware of a lot of things that probably didn't feel good to find out, if that makes any sense, because it could be relevant within like friendship or relationship. Because again, you were putting in so much effort, not getting it back, and you see someone's true colors. And I think like the Moon being here, what was not things have come to light. I can't. Things have come to light. What was unseen is now seen. I think you took your rose-colored glasses off. There's a lot of like shadow work that you're also doing within yourself as to why you put yourself in that situation, because I think there's some kind of trauma and like maybe people pleasing almost. Because again, I do sense you giving a lot more of yourself and not really getting. There's no balance within that. Like there's no give and take. So you're learning things the hard way right now, and kind of like trying to bring yourself back. So I feel like the miss is here because you're trying to bring yourself back. The Knight of Wands energy, like you want yourself back because I think you're starting to realize that your spark is gone. And so now you're focused again on like bringing yourself that energy back, the happiness and what that means to you. And I think that you're starting to do things that you want to do again and prioritizing those things. So whatever happened in the past, that heaviness, the sadness around that, the like neglect almost, you don't have that presently. I feel like you kind of like are already just putting yourself forward, doing that, bringing yourself back. And maybe you are now coming to this point in this new month where you are just like, I finally found myself again. And I finally am able to say like, I'm ready for the next chapter, because that's what it feels like. But there's still a lot of inner work that you're kind of doing at the same time. Okay. So let's go ahead to the future because I actually kind of really like this. I already see a few cards here that are like giving me like beautiful energy. So we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Wands, yes, Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Five of Pentacles in reverse is showing me that you have already kind of like walked away from a tough time. whatever that means to you, whether it be you walked away from a relationship or like the morning of a relationship, or you walked away from a lot. There's some troubles that you have. Again, we kind of aware of that because there's a lot of heaviness and anxiety and all of that and this like blah energy. You've walked away from that. There's a sense of like leaving that negativity and going to the next beautiful thing. There's you're like not guarding yourself anymore. Like you're like releasing that past energy of protection of yourself and being like, I'm open, I'm free, I'm releasing that energy. I don't, whatever happened in the past happened in the past. I'm moving on. That's that kind of energy that I have for the future. And you are embodying the Queen of Wands energy. And that is the Witch of the tarot deck. So whatever it is that you are manifesting, manifest it within this month. Because I see in the future or the end of the month going into December. Because your future is, I'm seeing you really kind of taking this like a hold, a reign of your life and being like, I'm writing my book, I'm writing it, I'm rewriting it really. I'm starting afresh. I know what I want to do and I'm making the moves to do it. And I'm not chasing, I'm attracting kind of an energy, which is absolutely beautiful. Again, definitely recommend watching the manifesting video because that really kind of gives you like a clue as to how to do it. And everyone has, their videos, but it's just short and super insightful. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is basking in the abundance. Nine is nearing completion. So whatever it is that you are manifesting, whatever it is that you want, you are going to create that for yourself and pivot to that future. So you're really breaking away from this negativity and kind of like shifting your priorities to focus on yourself and what brings you the passion. So whatever that means to you, like say you are just super passionate about your career right now, I see you really focus on that, manifesting your way, and I see maybe a promotion, and this is financial. So maybe there's a promotion, maybe you get a raise, maybe you get a new job opportunity, something that pays you more. There's something around that. And if it's a relationship, say you moved on from a relationship and you started dating again, there's a potential of finding that person that's going to bring you stability because this is also stability where you're happy, where you're content, where you don't have to worry about where this person is, who they're texting. Like there's something different about this because you're manifesting it. You're manifesting it correctly because there's some lesson to be learned. Again, you are really coming within this month of doing the shadow work and understanding yourself and why you were in those situations, learning how to like not do that again. So that's why currently, like, there is a pause. Currently, there is a pause because you're really trying to learn to not repeat your same mistakes. And so your future is just showing me that you're not. Your future is showing me that you are understanding that you are in control of your own destiny and that no one else, like, no one else really truly matters and their opinions don't matter. And you've already gave them so much and they took advantage of it. And so now you're like, okay, like no one else can do that. It's me now, and I'm gonna put myself first and do what's best for me. And that is showing because again, basking in the abundance. So I absolutely love that for you guys. I mean, this is beautiful. Definitely like and subscribe if this message resonated. Leave a comment so someone else can come in and be like, yeah, this I'm not alone. This feels right. Like I have a community around that, right? But if this message resonated, right, come back for the next one and let's see what your next month holds. See you guys later. Bye.